Hi, welcome back to another Faraday Academy live stream. I'm just going to switch to my screencast real quick. This is the 8th live stream in the series. The playlist is linked in the description below if you want to see all the rest of them. The app that we are building is this app. It's a curriculum, basically a place to create and manage and share your curriculums as you're learning to code or different topics in programming or anything really. It's kind of agnostic to what you're learning. Basically there's a README with different information about the project as well as mockups. And I'm updating this as I go along. So the route schema API. So in the last live stream, I hooked up Mongo and Mongoose to the API. So in this live stream, I'm going to make some updates to the API, Mongoose. There are a few item endpoints that I need to finish with CRUD operations for the database. And then hopefully I can hook that up to the front end. If not in this live stream, or maybe I'll get to start in this live stream and finish it on Friday at 8 p.m. at the next live stream. All right. So, the first thing is somebody left me a comment after the last live stream saying that Mongoose has a built-in timestamp option to add created at and updated at properties. So if you look, the server's not running. So in the project, I have the front and back end in the same repository. So let me go into the back end and run the server. So npm start. Okay, so it's at port 5000. And now I'm going to make a GET request. And last time we used a library to automatically add these properties, updated at and created at properties to every object in the database. But yeah, this person said there's a timestamp built in to Mongoose, which is a good idea. I'm not sure why. I've never seen that before. I guess I've just been doing it this way for a while. So I'm going to go ahead and switch to using that if I can find it. Hey, how are you? Yeah, so that was helpful. So if you guys want to chime in anytime, if you see something I could be doing better, or if you have a question, feel free. All right, so this was, where is it? Oh yeah, this is the plugin that I was using, but apparently we don't need this plugin at all. So let me look for Mongoose timestamp in the docs. No, this is a library. Nope. Mongoose. So I wonder why I can't find it. There's Mongoose schema. Mongoose timestamps. I wonder if I put Mongoose created at, updated at. Okay, yeah. Here it is. You can now use timestamps. So I guess this has been around for years now. Anyway, so when I create a new schema, which I am doing here. So I'm creating a new schema with options. This is my options object. So I guess if I pass in this second object, timestamps true, it will add created at, updated at, like this. And if I wanted to name it something different, I could denote that, but I don't want to. I think camel case is standard for Mongo anyways. So I'll just add it to the end here. Timestamp is true, and then I can remove this library and remove the definition there. Okay. And then I don't think I have the library in any other place. No, because it's just here. So now if I add, because I set up the post request last time. So now if I add, oh, I wish I still had my body. If I add something here, well, let me look at my API. So for this, name, goal, description, sections. Actually in my, yeah, so here the only one that's required is actually name. So I'll just go ahead and add it like this so I can test it. And nope, it's not working. Path name is required. Oh wait, I think, let me set a header for content type. Maybe so it knows that I'm sending JSON. Okay, that worked. So now let me try a GET request. And where's test? Here's test. Awesome, so it did add that. Great. So that was fine without the library. So I'll just uninstall that library. Deprecated. So why is this still? I think I just, yeah. Yeah, there's no more errors. Awesome. So good, thanks for that recommendation. And now, oh, there's one more thing I want to add to the API before I finish all of the endpoints, and that's Hilmit.js, just to set some security headers. Oh wait, here, close that. And this is just 2 lines of code, plus you can use options in this. But it's basically just to set some HTTP headers in Express. So I'm gonna just copy this. Yeah, in the server. And then I'll put it with the rest of the middleware. And I need to install it, or it's gonna give me an error. So app.use, and then Hilmit. I think that's the right syntax, yeah. And now it crashed because I haven't installed it yet, so let me do npm I Hilmit. All right. Okay, and now that should run okay. All right, the server still runs fine. And that's good. I'll clean up this file a little bit more because I still want to add Swagger and some logging and stuff, but I probably won't get to that today. All right. So let me just check. I think those were like the cleanup items. Right. So the next thing I'm going to do is the endpoints. So last time, in my API here, I added these endpoints, so the ones I just did, so the get and post for curricula, but I still need the item endpoints. So curricula / the ID of the curriculum, and then I should be able to get just that one, update it, and delete it. So I will start with the get request. And okay, so request.params.id is what I'm sending in there. And okay, let me get rid of that. So which is going to be, I'm going to use these IDs that Mongo automatically adds, this underscore ID. And that's how I'm going to delete, basically. So the one I just added is test. I'm going to try to delete that one. So, or get it, yeah. So I think what I can do is, here I do await find. Actually, I'm going to copy this first. So I think Mongoose is find by ID, but I'm going to look it up. And that should just return that one object that I want. All right, find by ID, Mongoose will be in here. Hi, Mohammed. I'm working on this app, the curriculum app. There's a link to the GitHub repo in the description, so you can look at the details and the mockups for the project there. This is the 8th live stream in the series, so I'm still working on the app. Right now I'm working on the finishing the Express API so I can hook it up to the front end. All right, so, oh yeah, find by ID. Not sure. Oh, this is, there we go. It was just zoomed in. All right, model.find by ID. Yeah, so that should work with exactly what I already have. And find by ID, it should be this ID. And I won't destructure it because there's only one param I have here. And then I'll call this curriculum because I'm only pulling back one object or one curriculum to return. So I'll say return curriculum. Oh yeah, and this is going to throw an error because this function has to be async for me to use the await keyword. So I think that's good for the get function. Let me try it out. So let me, yeah, it's still running. Let me pull one of these IDs, I guess just any ID. And sweet, and it worked. All right. So now that that works, I'm going to go from get to delete now. So there should be some kind of function like delete one or something. Delete one maybe. It'll be in models, deleting. Okay. Delete one and delete many that match whatever filter. Okay. So I guess I can just put the ID in here. Let me try that. Delete one. Okay. So I'm gonna do this. going to be almost the same thing because I'm going to pass it the ID, except I need to pass it in an object. So the underscore ID will be this. Yes, I am from America. Okay. So I guess, what's the code for successfully deleted? I don't even know. I guess I'll just send back success for right now. All right. Then I don't need this. And actually I need to put try catches and some error handling and logging and all of these, but I will do that later. Okay, why is this crashing? Oh, right, I need an async function here, and that should work. So I'm going to try this same endpoint and just make it send a delete request. And success. So now if I try get, yeah, it didn't come back with anything because I don't have this properly handled. Everything is just a 200 right now. All right. So now get and delete are working. So let me get one more this, and I am going to use or set up the patch. So there's some kind of update here. Yeah, so I'm already in models. So let me find updating. Each model has its own update method for modifying documents in the database without returning them to your application. Okay, so update 1. This is exactly what I want. So I'm guessing here that the first object is the filter. So it says which object to update, and then this is what I want to update it with, and then that's a callback, I guess. Find one. Return it to your application. I don't really need to return it because this is just an API. So the front end will be updating it locally too. All right, well, let me try this. Yeah. All right, so await. Oh, I need curriculum dot update 1, and this is gonna be this object first. So I find that, and then what is the res? Okay, so yeah, I need to make this async, and then for the second one, so I could do something like this, but I have no idea what they're going to send me, so I really don't want to do that. No. Sorry, that's request.body. So yeah, request.body. But I could either copy this logic here, or I could just, yeah, I could just do that and then return an error message if whatever they send isn't in the schema. That's fine. And this will have to be inside of an object. And since I pad these with spaces, I should probably do that too. Okay. And I will yeah. I will have to put this lowercase. Okay. And maybe I'll just return it. Yeah, I'll just return the curriculum here. Okay, I'm going to return success. Okay, so now I have patch. I don't need this. And let me try to make a patch request and see if that works. So here, yeah, get works. So let me now update patch it. And there's no goal on this object I have right now, so I'm going to just add a goal and see if that works. Success. Okay, so now let me get this object again. And sweet, patch worked, so it added the goal. All right. So this is basically all I want to do for right now. Yeah, I think next time I'm going to send back these HTTP codes correctly and then add some error handling. But for right now, I really want to connect this to the front end and get that started. So let me go ahead and run my front end. So I have this open in my terminal too. So I'm going to cd into the front end, and then I'm going to run the Vue server. So that's going to take a second to run. And then I'll go ahead and get out of there. So in source, yeah, so I'm going to need to update Vuex because I want to be making all of my Ajax calls from Vuex. So I definitely don't want it all to be in this one file. So I'm actually going to, in the source directory of my front end, I'm going to make a new folder for the store. And I'll move, actually I'm not going to move that because I'm going to delete it in a second. So I'll make an index.js file, and then I'll make, for right now I'll make an actions.js file, and then a state.js, and then I'll have getters eventually, and I'll go ahead and make the mutations.js file. Okay, so I have all these empty files, which I can just go ahead and put an object in for right now. And copy that, paste, paste. And then in my index, I'm going to copy from store. So I want to copy that. Let me get rid of store.js. So my index, I'll paste this. And yeah, so because of this alias for the path, that doesn't change. So I do need to import these three. So I'm going to go ahead and import actions from actions. It has a JS extension, so I can leave that off, and mutations and state. Okay. And then here, oops. So state, actions, and these will just be the objects that I just imported using the shorthand, and mutations. And that should be it. I don't have any plugins yet. Maybe I'll just put this here as a placeholder for getters. And that's really all I have. Oh, this curriculum data is going to go in state in this case. So I'll go ahead and put it here. Oops. For right now. But that's going to change anyways because I'm going to be pulling in data from the API when I set up the CRUD operations in a second. So, okay. What did I call it before? I guess I called it curricula data, right? I think so. So it's not too important because I'm about to delete that. But here's the new Vue.x setup, which does not work because here I'm importing the store. Actually, it should work because now that there's no file store.js, it's looking in this store folder and it'll find the index.js. So actually this should work. So let me try to reset the server and see if it does. And my backend's still running. I think I am going to have to add Core's middleware to the backend in a second, but let me finish this first. Okay, so this works, and let me pull up the front end. Oops, that's not right. Is it 8080? Yeah, localhost 8080. So sweet. All the pages are working. Good. Awesome. So now for the API calls. Let's see. So in actions, I'm going to, first off, I'm going to be using Axios. So I'm going to be importing Axios from Axios, and I didn't want to stop the server again, but yeah, I need to install Axios. So npm install Axios. All right. And then I need a method, so let's call this get all, or I don't have to use all because curricula is plural, so I can do that. So I have Axios installed, and now I'm gonna do npm run serve again. And in this function, I want to do an axios.get. And I think that the syntax is putting the URL here. And I'm just going to hard code it for now, because actually I'll put it at the top. So I'll put const API URL, and then HTTP localhost 5000 /API/v1/ curricula, because I don't have I don't have any other endpoints besides curricula yet. So axios.get API URL, and then I could chain promises here. I'm going to be using await, async await, so this needs to be an async function. And then I'll basically get the data back from here. So I'm going to just set this equal to res and then log it out for now. Okay, I think this is the correct syntax, axios.get. But yeah, we'll see. Oh, I need to call this function. So let me map this action to a component. So where am I going to be getting this data into the application? The home screen doesn't do it. So it's going to be in the display curricula page, because eventually there's going to be some kind of login here. So then it'll be a bit easier. So in display curricula, I'm going to put on mounted. So when the component mounts, I'm going to call this function get curriculum, which I need to import from Vuex into this component. So let me, let me add map actions here. So map actions, of course, state isn't computed, so map state, because state gets updated, but this function doesn't get updated, or actions don't really get updated while you're running the program. So this I map inside of methods. So I can map actions inside of here and get my Vue.js or Vuex action, which is get curricula. So now I have access to it from this .get curricula when the component mounts. So that will run the action. Of course, there's no mutation, so it's not actually in Vuex state, but I'm just logging it out. So let me see. So I think in the view all component. So there is a network error. Oh, yeah. So cores. So I need to add that. So that's a middleware in Express. So Express cores middleware. All right. Yeah. Is this Express.js middleware course? Yeah, so I guess it's separate app.use cores. Yeah. All right, so npm install cores first. So let me stop the backend and install it. And then I need to import it into my main server file and then say app.use with the rest of my middleware. All right. So let me go ahead. Oh, this is my front end. So let me go into my back end. The server index.js in my server, and then put it with my imports at the top, and then down here I need to put it before my routes with my middleware, so app.use, and then this is the same thing. There's no options or anything I need. So that should work. Let me try starting my server again. All right. Oh, let me restart the front end and then see. Hey, Eclon. Oh, awesome. Yeah, it worked. Okay. So now I need to use a mutation to actually update it on state, and I'm going to give it a default state. So now I'm going to get rid of this dummy data that I'm importing. And curricula, so I'm just going to call it, so curricula is plural. So I'm just going to call it curricula, and that's it. And then it'll be an array. So this will be the array of all curricula. Yeah, that's good. And then that's display. So now in actions. Okay, so first I need a mutation. So I'm gonna have a mutation which is update curricula. Yeah. So update curricula, and there. And that's gonna do, I'm gonna have to look up the proper syntax for this, but basically it's going to do no, not this dot state. It's going to be state dot curricula and then equals whatever payload I pass in here. So I think it's this maybe, or something like that. And then that, and then I'll set it equal to the curricula that I pass in. Okay. And this may or may not be right. But then in actions, I need some way to call this update curriculum mutation. So in actions, I'm going to have to, yeah, let me go into the Vue.js docs real quick. So Vue.js or Vuex actions. So commit, yeah. So I can commit, and I have access to state, which I don't need right now. So I'll just commit that. So here, instead of console.logging this, I'm going to commit. Let me look. Yeah, commit. What was the mutation called? Update. And then I'll pass it. And I believe it will be, I wonder if it's still in the console here. Object. So data. Yeah, so I want to pass it actually res.data. which will be an array of the objects that I want. So let me pass it res.data. And then, so this commit up calls the mutation, which will update the state. And let me make sure, actually I'll just try this and see if I have the right mutation syntax. So let me, oh yeah, and I don't have any way to create new ones now, so oh, but I should have some already in here. Yeah, sweet. So I'm definitely getting it. It's saved on Vuex now under curricula. That's my current Vuex state. So I can actually map this to the display all curricula page. So let me get out of all these. And now let me go to this page, and I'm already mapping state. So before it was curricula data, so the only different thing I'll have to do is curricula, and then this will, yeah, so, and then I just changed it in the v4, and I think that should work. Yeah, sweet. Of course, my data I've been saving in the database isn't very nice. So, okay. Oh, right. And I also need to fix this. Key. So here, I think this is undefined too, because there is no ID. It's underscore ID. And I think that this will, okay. So I changed those to underscore ID, and I think that should work. Yeah, so I have the ID here now, but on the page, it's not displaying. So let me go into that page, which is display single curriculum. Yeah, so here, when this page mounts, I'm trying to find the curriculum, which this is correct, the ID, but I need to update this to be underscore ID now, and now I think that will work. So let's see if that works. Do I have to refresh it? Nope, still not working. So let me see. This curricula data. Oh, right. Because I'm mapping that here. And then here. And I don't think I'm using it anywhere else. Let me see. Data. No, I'm not using it anywhere else. All right. So it does work now. Sweet. And I don't have much information in the database, so nothing really shows up. But I can see all of my different things. Now the next step is to be able to create a new one. And none of these things are hooked up in any way. And especially this part isn't even live like I want it, because I can't add more resources. These are just static. But maybe for now I can just hook up like this section, just the name, goal, and description, and then I'll work on these ones later. So I'm about 45 minutes in right now. So let me work on saving these. So let me go to the create curriculum page, which is in Vue.js. Let's display, here it is. So this is the form. Create curriculum, name, goal. All right, these are not, I mean, there's no vmodel or anything for these right now. Okay, so let me go ahead and create a data object here so I have something, somewhere to save that. So return the object, and then I'm just gonna put name. I'll put empty string. Goal, which is also an empty string. And then, what was the other one? Description. All right. Which is an empty string. And then I'll have to hook up the save buttons, which I think, do I even have those? Oh yeah, there is a save button here. So I'll hook that up. This button. So do this, and then I'll add a v on, so at click. So when the user clicks the button, I want it to run a method, which will be, yeah, save curriculum, which I need to create at the bottom. So now under data, I'm gonna create a methods object, and yeah, I'm gonna do save curriculum. Okay, and this will save the curriculum in a second. So right now I need to vmodel these so that they're actually getting stored in data as the user types. So in the text fields, I'm going to vmodel. So this is name, so I'll vmodel name here. And then in this one, vmodel equals goal. And for some reason, I just like to have a space in between the forward slash. I think it looks cleaner. And then, where did I miss it? Goal, and where's description? I feel like I missed description somewhere. Description is here. Am I just overlooking it? Oh, I don't know why I missed that. Maybe, was it cold folded? I don't know. Okay. Name description. All right. So vmodel equals description. All right. And those should be saved. And then I'm just going to check on the vmodel here. So as I type, I think this is old. Yeah, that was from when I had it before I actually saved, or before I actually created the method. So in here, I'm going to, oh, it didn't open up. Okay, so intent, create curriculum. And so I have these on my data, these properties, and they're not updating. I'm not sure why. I probably made some kind of silly mistake. So description is updating, but not goal and name. So what did I do in the form? Name and goal. So I have those correctly done there. Was I in the wrong file? I feel like, oh, I put this in in completely the wrong place. That's what it was. I put it inside of a section. Okay. So let me move that to here. And where did I put goal? Here. So I'll move this vmodel to here. That's why I couldn't find a description earlier, because I was in the wrong place. All right, so this should work now. Yeah, so these work fine now. All right. So now let me get this to save. So I'm going to import. I need my action to be able to save it to Vuex. Right, so in order to save one, I don't even have the method yet on Vuex actually. So I have get curricula here, but I need async. Let's say post curricula. I might change this naming scheme later. Yeah. Actually, yeah, well, I'm going to be using that in a minute. I'll just leave this blank for now. Post curricula, and now I'm going to use API URL. Yeah, the URL is exactly the same. And oh yeah, it will be axios.post instead, so I can save the curricula. And then I need to save the object. Oh, right. So I'm going to, let me just go ahead and import it. Oh, well, I'll use it in a minute. And then I need whatever payload I'm sending into this function, which is going to be a curriculum. So I'm just going to go ahead and call it that. So I'm going to post the curriculum, and I think this is the right syntax, but we'll see. And let me just log out that response. Okay, so post curricula. I'm going to say curriculum actually to make it more correct, because I'm only saving one. So post curriculum. So here in methods, I'm going to map that action. Oh, right, I didn't import. So import map actions from Vuex. So now I can, oops, map actions, and then the action I want to map is post curriculum. And then so in this method I have here, yeah, I could just call it directly from the form, but I'll probably end up doing, or I will end up doing other things later. So I'm going to give it its own method. So save curriculum will call post curriculum and pass it the data. So this.name, this.goal, this.description. So let me give it some space. I'm going to say I'm going to pull these off of this. So name, goal, and description equals this. I think that's right. Yeah, that's right. And then I'm going to set const curriculum equal to name, goal, description. Okay. So that should work. And then I post this object, or I send this object to Vuex, which will be here, and then axios.post, and then the response well, I think the response isn't that helpful. It's just success right now. But I'll send a get after that and see if it worked. Hey, nobodies, how are you? Okay, so I'm gonna call this Python 3, learn Python 3.7 or whatever they're learning. And then description is all the tutorials to learn Python or something like that. Okay. So these are in my data. Let me try to save. Of course, there's absolutely no feedback or form clearing or anything right now. Okay, so I got a success back. So let me view all, and it did save. So I do have it here now. It's been almost an hour already. Wow. All right. So what else can I do? So the form, most of these things, these sections, like the projects and stuff, I'm going to have to finish that next time. The resources and projects, because on the page, where is it? Create form. So on the page, these aren't even saving. So I need to hook this up. And if you were here before, maybe you saw that this is going to be like a to-do list. So if I were to hit enter right now, it would append to this list. And then I could hit some X somewhere here to take it off, or an edit button or something. I think actually I'll just have X and enter for right now. And the same for projects. So those are resources and projects. And I'll do that next time. Sections, it's also a variable number of sections. So these need to be mapped, and maybe I can go ahead and do that in the next like 5 minutes. So just adding sections. So right now, let me see where my sections are. Okay, so these are all where I folded it in this row. These are all the sections. Goal description. Yeah, this is the metadata at the beginning that they enter. And so add section. Well, first I need a method for this. So let me create one called add section. Should I? Yeah, because then because when I get to remove section, I'll probably need to not just remove the last section, but a specific section. So I'll do add section as a method, and then so I need here, actually, I'll have to have sections, which is an array. So add section will, for right now, I could just do sections, or this dot sections dot push, I guess, and push an object, just an empty object onto it. Or I'll want, so on sections, I'll have name, let's see, yeah, name, and then what did I have there? Name goal. I don't know if I need a goal for every section, but I'll just keep it there for now. So goal, and then resources, which right now in the database, I have resources as just an array of strings, and projects too. So it's going to be an array of objects eventually. But for right now, it'll just be an array of strings. So it'll push this object, and then I want it to default start with one section as well. So it'll start with that, and then it'll push a new one when they add a section, which I need to hook up the button. So add section, and I'll do @click equals add section to run that method that I just added, which will push a new section onto the sections array. And then let me unfold the sections. So here, these cards are for the sections. So I need to v4 through these sections, and then I'm gonna set up the vmodels for everything. So let me go ahead and v4 through these section in sections, and then I really don't have a unique key here, so I'll do key equals section.name. But that changes too as people type in. I don't know if that matters for keys actually. So plus K. We'll see if that works. If it doesn't, then figure something else out. So section number 1. I'll call this, and then no, I won't put a name there for right now. Okay, so let's see if that works. So I have section 1 here, and then add a section. Sweet. So let me fix that real quick. So the number on the section, which will be this K, which is the iterator value. So I'm gonna put K plus 1, and that should give me the right number. So yeah, section 1, section 2, add another section, section 3. Needs some spacing, but it's okay for right now. So in the next live stream, I want to finish this form to be fully functional. That shouldn't even take 30 minutes probably. I need to be able to add resources, so I'm going to have some kind of nested structure on component state so that I can vmodel all of the form data into here. So I need to vmodel this into the right section, which shouldn't take that long. And then I need to add some kind of X here. I need to add X's on these and make these live. So yeah, if I finish the form stuff next time, and then there's a few other things. I'm also actually, maybe before the next live stream, I might change the color scheme because that's not a big deal. Or at least I'll add the colors in Sass because I want to make this look a lot nicer and have a real title for this app and stuff. Yeah, so before next live stream, which is Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I'm going to update the README again. Definitely take a look. I've been updating this over time. And adding, I'm going to update the mockups too, to be, because you can see they don't even have the full navigation here. This was just kind of a mockup that I threw together for the MVP. But I definitely want this to look a bit nicer. This is an app I've wanted to make for a long time, and I have a lot more plans for it. I just wanted to get the MVP done, and I'm happy with how it's going. So yeah, so I'm going to continue this Friday at 8 p.m. and Sunday at noon, and then probably 3 or 4 times next week again. Forming front end. Is there an address? I'm not sure exactly what you're talking about, nobodies. Yeah. So if you want to post the question in the comments, or maybe I'll take a look at it after the stream so I have time to read through it again. So have a great night, everybody. Happy New Year. And I will see you on Friday. Bye.